Hello, everybody. It's Sarah with Purple Angel Oracle. Happy to be awake and ascending with you all. So this last week, I got like a burst of energy. I was feeling really good. And then today hit and I had a headache all day. I'm super exhausted. I'm really exhausted right now and was actually about to go to bed. But I got this strong pull to share. I connected with my guides, my angels, source, and just wanted to talk about what many of us might be dealing with, which is a lot of like coping mechanisms, right? Coming to the surface again, things that we thought we were done dealing with, and they keep coming to the surface. And these afflictions, right, that we feel like we have, these coping mechanisms, let's say addictions or habits or things that we've used throughout our life to kind of numb the pain from traumas we've experienced in past lives or childhood. But these afflictions or these coping mechanisms, we use these to survive in these lower densities. That's what's actually occurring, is we came in to these lower densities and we had to find a way to adapt and, a way to cope with all of this, because we came from higher frequencies. We are higher frequencies. So we had to find a way to adapt as humans in these lower densities. And we grew accustomed to these coping mechanisms, and they kind of became comfortable yet uncomfortable at the same time. They made it to where we were able to just get through each day, but at the same time, they were afflictions in a way. We're like, why do I even need this? Why do I need this to cope? It's a very confusing thing. Well, now that we're shifting to these higher frequencies, these coping mechanisms no longer resonate. They just are starting to not resonate because we're in the process of eliminating them. We don't need them anymore because we're shifting to higher frequencies, the frequencies that we came from, that we're accustomed to as well. We just forgot because we dropped down into these lower frequencies. And this process of eliminating them is very uncomfortable as well. So many of us may be finding ourselves falling back into these old coping mechanisms because we're clinging to what was normal for so long. That was like our safety net. We needed that to just get through each day. So ripping that away it can be very, very uncomfortable, even though we're so ready to let him go. There's a piece of us that's clinging to it. And there's nothing wrong with that. It's natural and it needs to happen this way. The difference now is that we're aware of it. We're not just unconsciously using these mechanisms the way we used to. We're not just, gliding through and using these and not understanding why we're using them. We know what they are. We see them for what they are. And just as we're seeing the physical manifestation of these lower frequencies fighting for their very existence, right? In our external reality, we see the battle between the dark and the light, the higher frequencies, the lower frequencies. And these lower frequencies are fighting hard. They are like clinging, not letting up. And it's just the same as these lower frequencies that we grew accustomed to individually. They're fighting back as well. So everything's trying to cling to the way that it was for so long. And that could be a very uncomfortable process, because for many of us, when these afflictions come up or these coping mechanisms, you feel like you're backtracking, and it's the complete opposite. We're literally coming up on this pinnacle moment. It's just everything's really being scrunched up, and just it's it's hitting hard right now. We are really in the midst of things moving very quickly, a lot being purged, a lot being brought to our awareness. It's absolutely incredible. But this message just came through loud and clear, and I felt like there was somebody out there who needed to hear this, who might be dealing, I deal with this as well. I have many coping mechanisms. We all do. That have been coming up. And I'm like, why am I doing this again? And it's because as this trauma comes up to be released, this dormant, dense trauma that's been sitting within us, these coping mechanisms are coming out as well, because we're like, oh, that's how I used to cope with this. So we're, we're just doing this over and over until we can finally eliminate the need, eliminate the need for it, because we're shifting to higher frequencies. And I pulled one card from my Archangel deck just to get some advice from the angels. And it's beautiful what came out, because all it says is angel therapy. And it's Archangel Raphael. Give your cares and worries to us angels and allow us to take your burdens. So I think it's just another good reminder that sometimes when we can't handle this ourselves, even though we naturally are, our minds tell us, I can't do this. I can't do this. Have, quiet your mind for a moment and just hand it over. Even just visualize yourself handing this density over to someone who you might feel at the time, an angel or a galactic family member, whatever you resonate with, someone who you feel like may be able to handle it a little better right now. And just the act of doing that, visualizing that, can take such a weight off your shoulders. And I feel like the angels are just saying, hey, we're here. We are here when you need us. We know what you're going through. We feel it. We see it. We're here to help. And I think it's just a really good reminder for me as well to ask for help, to hand those burdens over sometimes when we feel overwhelmed, because we are human. This is a very intense process, and we can't do it alone. I mean, we are in a sense, but we feel that way, but we're doing this as a collective, and there's plenty of help out there energetically if you just visualize and ask. And yeah, so that was basically what I got, was just, if you're feeling very overwhelmed and you feel like you're not seeing results, you're not seeing this shift happening, it's not what you thought. And sometimes these thoughts can just take over your mind and you lose track of where you are. Hand that over, just hand it over. I can't deal with it now, please help me, or ask your higher self to lead the way. And constantly do that, because it'll help ease your mind. It'll help calm you down and keep you in a space of calmness and clarity. And that's what I have to do for myself as well. I'm a very anxious kind of person. I deal with anxiety a lot. I have a lot of afflictions I still deal with, but I still get my time to connect with my higher self. I still get messages. I have no control over that. It comes in when it comes in, and nothing stops that from happening, no matter what I'm doing. Making bad choices sometimes, right? Having a drink here and there, and I'm like, why did I do that? I don't like drinking, but I did it, and it happens. It happens. But it doesn't stop this process from happening. Everything occurs the way that it needs to. So this was just something I felt like I needed to get on and share. It's just a short message. But I hope to be back soon. I love you all. Bye.